we are here gathered not necessarily to find out at what stage an objection can be raised. We concede the fact that an objection can be raised at any time, whether a particular bill that is introduced is a money bill or not. There have been some comments about the intentions behind the objection, but I'll leave that for a moment. We are also delighted, and we have often been given great lessons in constitutional law by the Leader of this House, and we thank the Leader of this House for that. But I, with some humility, entirely disagree with the Leader of his House on the interpretation of 110 of the Constitution. Mr. Deputy Chairperson, if I may have your attention. If I may have your attention.
Yeah.
If I may have your attention,
Please,
sir.
please.
Every legislation in this country introduced in the Lok Sabha has some impact on the Consolidated Fund of India. Whether it's a legislation dealing with urban development, judiciary, transportation, every legislation has an impact on the Consolidated Fund of India, because ultimately monies have to be appropriated to ensure that on the ground there is fruition and that the monies required for that particular legislation are appropriated from the Consolidated Fund of India. If my learned friend, the Leader of the House, is right, then on every bill,
You please
if the
speak.
distinguished
You
Leader
please
of the
speak. I
House
am
is
here.
right, that every bill can be termed as a money bill in this country, if he is right in his objection, because at some stage or the other, monies will have to be appropriated towards the Consolidated Fund of India. However, the definition of a money bill is quite different. And I will read for the consideration of you, sir, and the distinguished member of this House, the definition. It says, for the purposes of this chapter, a bill shall be deemed to be a money bill if it contains, and mark the word, only, if it contains only provisions dealing with all or any of the following matters. In other words, if a bill that is introduced contains only provisions relating to appropriations, then it's a money bill. If it contains, if the bill deals with a subject matter, the consequence of which is ultimately appropriations from the Consolidated Fund of India, then it's not a money bill. Now, let's look at this bill. Let's look at this bill. What does this bill say? 100A. Notwithstanding anything contained contrary to this Act, the following shall be special provisions for the state of Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh Telangana Council shall be set up by the central government on the... Or, next. Special status shall be granted by the central government for the state of Andhra Pradesh for 10 years. Special status, nothing to do with appropriation? Yes. Nothing to do with appropriation. Nothing to do with money. When that special status is, if you don't mind, please.
Now let me listen to him. Please, yeah.
Revenue deficit of Andhra Pradesh shall be borne by central government till the state becomes financially viable. Now, at the time when the actual revenue deficit is borne through the introduction of legislation, then it will be a money bill. But this is not a money bill. Next. A special package will be given by the central government to achieve a turnaround in the financial health of the state. When that special package is given and it is part of the financial bill, then it will be a money bill. Next, central assistance package shall be provided for developing backward areas of Andhra Pradesh, particularly in the 4 districts of Rayalaseema and the 3 districts of northern coastal Andhra Pradesh at par with Bundelkhand, Koraput, Bolangir and Kalahandi package. Now that exercise has yet to be done. And that exercise will be done, which is an administrative exercise. When that appropriation takes place, then it will be a money bill. Next, central assistance shall be provided for the development of the capital of Andhra Pradesh. Well, then that central assistance will be provided in a legislation, that will be a money bill. Supposing you want to set up a new capital, and you have a legislation and say, one second, legislation and say you want to set up a new capital which is being done, that's not a money bill. It's when you appropriate monies towards setting up of the capital will it become a money bill. Next, the allocation of Pallavaram project shall be increased by central government for its completion in the stipulated time frame. Now, what is that increase? We don't know at this point in time what that increase is going to be. As and when that increase is decided by the government and introduced in the Lok Sabha, that will be a money bill.
Okay.
Then the Apex Council and the
Need not read all clauses.
The Apex Council,
I got your point.
I'm sorry?
Need not read all clauses.
Right. Now,
I got your point.
Now, since I was the counsel in the Aadhaar matter and I'm disclosing that fact, the learned leader of the House also said that Aadhaar is a money bill. He also said Aadhaar is a money bill. Tomorrow you want to set up special courts in the country, he will say that is also a money bill, because in order to set up special courts you need money. That money will come from the Consolidated Fund of India. So this House will become a cipher. This is what the leader of the House wants, for this House to become a cipher.
Okay. That's okay. All right.
They don't want to honor the commitments made on the special package.
On this issue?
They don't want to honor those commitments.
On this issue, you want to say? Okay. All right.
Mr. Deputy Chairman. No, 1 second. One other point.
Please conclude.
One other point I wish to make.
No.
It is true, sir.
Now,
conclude.
conclude.
It is true, sir. Ultimately, we are here to uphold the Constitution and the laws. We are not spin doctors to spin the Constitution for our political purposes. We are not here sitting as spin doctors. The fact of the matter is, if you give this interpretation to any bill introduced in any house, it will be a money bill, according to the leader of the House. This house must actually move a resolution to decide what is the power of the leader of the House here, without setting the one second.
But you are challenging the Constitution.
Sir, you have.
Okay. All right. No, let him. Okay. Conclude.
Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir, I have one humble submission to make. The rules require you to decide whether or not it's a money bill or not, or whether you have some doubts on it or not.
I'll come
and
to
it
that.
will automatically go to the Speaker of the Lok Sabha.
Yes.
It will automatically go to the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. And the point is that unless you hear members of this House,
That's why I'm
what
hearing.
is the maryada
That's why
of this
I
House,
heard you.
as to what kind of bills should be money bills, you should not give a ruling.
That's why I'm hearing
So
you.
please allow every
No,
member
no.
to speak,
That's-
and let's get a sense of
No,
this House
that I heard
as to
you.
what we feel is a money bill,
I heard
and
you.
not subvert the Constitution of India.
Ram Gopal ji.
हाँ, इतना क्योंकि मैं तो स्पीच दे रहा था, मैंने नहीं देखा कि उसका लाइव टेलीकास्ट हुआ कि नहीं हुआ, लेकिन यह सच है कि भारत से जो दूरदर्शन और एएनआई के रिपोर्टर और हमारे पीटीआई के रिपोर्टर्स थे, उनको अंदर प्रवेश करने की इजाजत नहीं दी। यह सच है।